The trait of improvement. I can speak with this with authority because improvement is a very strong thing for me. And I'll say personally, I enjoy a picture like this, not just because it puts my head and my mouth so close to a jar of peanut M&Ms, but the chart displayed here is going up and up and up. Even for these little dips here, where it's going up and then comes down, it's like, oh, I know we're trending up, but oh man, I would just love if life had a continuous bar graph going up, everything getting better. And I recognize that one of the great things about fuels is there might be some mysteries that are still even foreign to you about your own upbringing, things that you didn't understand about your childhood. I'll tell you for myself, one of the things that I can articulate now, definitely identifying back then, is there were many nights as a young man I hadn't learned a lot about life, and when it came to health, no one had introduced me to intermittent fasting, so I was a little bit of a chubbier kid. I didn't have the book of how to win friends and influence people or have good mentors in my life, so there was a couple key areas I was pretty stuck in. And I remember laying awake at night, not being able to identify what's wrong. Why am I so unhappy? My parents love me. I get along with my sibling. There's so much to be appreciative of, but feeling stuck, oh, it's about the worst thing you can feel when you're strong in improvement. And it can be a very powerful, kind of for the good or for the bad for someone who's strong in improvement, because improvement often means challenge, improvement often means change, to continually see that whatever you're paying attention, that it's just constantly getting better, that I have just a little bit more friends or a little bit stronger friendships, or getting a little bit better at making friends, or a little bit better at strengthening relationships. If there's an area in your life that you're making good traction in, life is good. And there's no real meter about it, but you can really tell if improvement is strong for you if at least 51% of your life is improving. Because I'll tell you, if it's at 50 or 49%, you probably may lie awake at night to say, what's wrong? If your team loses, or you thought a project was going well and then news comes out that there's an extra wrinkle, or your team was headed for the playoffs and then someone else in the league tied, and you're like, oh man, we're back a little bit. Anything in your life, you kind of feel into an intuitive level, instinctively, that's the word I was looking for. Am I moving forward or am I going back? Now, that's something that's very personal to you, but of course for your team, if you're in a team that needs to be growing, of course if you're not growing many times in life, you're 100%, you're shrinking. That's just kind of the way of things. Your business never really stands still, just like your life really never stands still. You can't just stop brushing your teeth. You have to continuously be improving your overall health. And that's very important for someone strong in improvement. And usually, as with a lot of these different fuels, you're almost kind of like a superhero when it comes to it. You can do more than the average person. So, of course, connecting the dots, how can you move your team forward? How can they hitch a lot of their wagons to you? How can they set their expectations on someone who's going to pull them through if they're stuck? And it's not necessarily about inertia. Initiative's a lot just about being unstuck, but just not being improving. It's not that you have to be constantly not sitting still. Improvement is different from initiative. Improvement, especially, not just moving, but moving forward. Initiatives many times are just happy to be not standing still. Improvement's about improving. And especially critical for improvement, things like this where you can see where you're at. Even if you're blindfolded and you're technically moving forward, if you in your heart of hearts don't know that you're moving forward in a direction you want to go, it's very powerful for improvements to know where they're going, where they're trending, and if they're heading in that right direction, if they're improving in different areas of their life, if they're a little bit down and out, and maybe there's a project that people need other information on that you can't really get any better on that project. If you're the team lead and you've got someone strong in improvement, see if there's anything else in their surrounding environment that they can improve on, because that'll help them get through the day and make sure they're nice, fresh, ready, and rested for the next time where their improvement is that master skill that's needed to save the day. But for you with improvement, keep building that mastery, keep finding the areas where it's most helpful, and learn how to honestly take a back seat when it's not. But thanks so much for bringing it to your team.